Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to boot camp. Coach Jazzi here, and today we're spelling out Snowman. So it is the last boot camp, the last Wednesday boot camp of 2023. So we're going to spell out Snowman. We got a few more to go this time. So I'm going to get real quick into demos and then we're going to warm up and get right into it. So starting off with the first S, well, I guess there's only one S today. First S for Snowman, we're going to do an alternating staggered squat. I overcorrected here. So we're going to have one foot is going to be our working foot up on our other toe, squatting down and back up, and then to the other foot coming down and back up. So we're alternating there. And then after that, we're going to do a narrow push-up. So we're going to have our hands nice and close here. Usually we have them directly under our shoulders. This time we're going a little bit further in, so that way our elbows go straight back, staying as close to our body as we can, and back up. Oh my goodness, my elbow just cracked so bad. Okay, after that, we're gonna do an overhead reverse lunge. So with this, if you wanna make it more challenging, feel free, you can grab a mini band, put it around your wrist and push against it by having our arms straight up overhead, stepping back, pressing through our front foot as we alternate there. And then for the W, we're going to do a bent over W to L to overhead press. So I know I've been doing this one a lot lately, but it's really great for our back and shoulder strength. You can always use a resistance band for this one as well. We're going to have our arms straight out in front, pushing our hips back, coming back into the W with our elbows, rotating up and back down. So it's the W. And then for the M, we're going to do a moving lateral lunge. So we're going to be on one side of our space. We're going to step out to the side and then push back through our foot, going one way, and then we'll go ahead and go back the other way. And then for the A, we're going to do more lunges. We're going to do around the world lunges here. So starting with one foot, we're going to come forward to the side and back, and then to the other leg, front and side and back. The A. And then for the final movement for the end, we're going to do squat, knee to opposite elbow. So hands at our temples, feet hip width apart here, squatting down, exhaling, driving our knee across our body. So we really use our core. We're going to strengthen our hip flexors as we come across. So that is going to be our full circuit. We're going to do that 3 rounds, 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest / transition time. So let's go ahead and warm up real quick. So we're gonna go ahead, come into the top of our space for the world's greatest stretch. We're gonna interlace our fingers, grab onto one of our knees, pulling towards our chest. And then we're gonna go ahead and exhale, stepping back into our reverse lunge. Hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. Nice big deep inhale. And exhale, opening up towards the ceiling, looking past our hand, thumb is facing behind us. And let's go ahead and exhale, plant our hand outside of our front foot, bringing our back foot a little bit closer and pushing our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And let's go ahead and exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away, stand on up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Interlace our fingers, grabbing onto our other knee, pulling towards our chest. And we're gonna go ahead and exhale, step back into our reverse lunge. Hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. Nice big deep inhale. And exhaling, opening up towards the ceiling, looking past our hand, thumb is facing behind us. And exhaling, planting our hand outside of our front foot, bringing our back foot a little bit closer and pushing our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And let's go ahead and exhale, bring our feet together, Push ground away, standing on up. All right, last part of our warm-up. We don't have too much upper body today, so we're actually going to do a deep squat to stand here, really opening up our hips and hamstrings. So starting with our feet hip-width apart, you can bring them a little bit wider if you need to. We're going to push our hips back into our forward fold. Go ahead, grabbing onto our big toe. Back is staying nice and flat. We're going to inhale, burrowing our hips all the way down. And exhale, pushing through our whole foot, standing back up. Or I should say pushing our hips back up towards the ceiling. So we're gonna go ahead and do that 3 more times here. Inhaling down. Exhaling up. 2 more coming down. And up. And last one, bringing our hips down. And coming back up. Let's go ahead, stand all the way back up on that last one. And we are ready to rock and roll. So like I said, we're gonna do 3 rounds. We're doing 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest / transition time. I'm gonna go ahead and get the timer started here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So start our alternating staggered squat is first. So starting with 1 foot, we're gonna be up on our other toe, squatting down, exhaling, pushing through our working foot. That's gonna alternate every time. So right now, I'm gonna use my left leg. I'm up on my right toe, squatting down just like normal, but then only pushing through my left foot. So from this angle, it all looks the same. The only difference is now we're on our toe, but we should keep our foot as close to right underneath our hip as we can. That's gonna help us really be able to keep almost the same form as we would, since it is essentially the same. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right. Up next, we have a narrow push-up. So hands are going to be nice and close. 3, 2, 1. So for this one, you can either do the diamond if you'd like, or you can just have your hands closer than you normally would with the regular push-up. And you can either do hands and knees, hands and toes, or an eccentric only. Whatever works for you today. I definitely have not been doing that many push-ups lately. So just gonna keep this one on my knees here. Exhaling as we come up. I'm getting into my bad habit again. We want to make sure we're looking out in front ever so slightly, not looking straight down. We want to keep that curve in our neck. 3, 2, 1. All right. Standing back up, we're going to do an overhead reverse lunge. So if you have a mini band and you want to grab that, go ahead and put it around your wrists. 3, 2, 1. I forgot to grab one. I might grab one real quick here, but hands all the way overhead. If you have that mini band, it's around your wrist, you're pushing against it. That's going to activate those shoulder muscles for you. You're still going to feel it with your arms straight overhead, getting that isometric work in. Inhaling as we step back, exhaling, coming up. We really want to emphasize pushing through that front leg, feeling it in our glute and our quad of the leg that we're pushing off of, which is the front leg. Keeping our pelvis tucked to our core is nice and tight. Having that overhead component really forces our core to be engaged a little more. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, bent over W to L to overhead press. 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to demonstrate this. So if you do want to use a resistance band for this one, let me just grab this. You can use a longer one if you have it available. You're just going to go ahead and stand on it as you come up, rotate. Oh my goodness. I'm going to do 1 foot. I thought I grabbed a lighter one. So we row, open up this way. So that's going to force us, using the resistance band, is going to force you to really feel that in your shoulders, really working on that rotator cuff strength and then that overhead strength as well. You also are going to have to use your core a little bit more if you do have a resistance band. If not, if you don't have a resistance band, just really focusing, moving nice and slow. Use our back. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Next up, we have a moving lateral lunge. 3, 2, 1. I think we've all done this one enough times. No, I really do love it. I was gonna have us do a banded march, but I think we're actually gonna do that tomorrow instead. So stay tuned for that. Gotta work on our hip flexor strength. That's why we have that squat knee to elbow later. But stepping out, hips go back, knee comes forward, pushing through our whole foot of our foot that we're stepping out with. So if I'm going to the left, I'm pushing through my left foot. If I'm going to the right, you're pushing through the right foot. So it does need a little bit more glute strength here. That's why we're doing this, working on our glute and quad strength. 3, 2, 1. All right. We got more lunges, around the world lunges. We're pretty much just doing a bunch of lunges today. 3, 2, 1. Great way to work on our single leg strength. So around the world, we go forward, we go to the side, then we go back, and then other leg, same thing, front and side, and back. The goal here, I want us to go straight into the next one. So we're coming forward. I'm pushing off my front foot straight back to the middle, but my foot is not touching the ground. We're really working on balance, stability, and single leg strength here. We do have 50 seconds, so we should get through this more than one time. 3, 2, 1 on each leg. So I did 2. So that's partially why we're doing 50-10 today. All right, squat, knee to offset elbow. 3, 2, 1. So feet hip width apart here, hands at our temples. Inhaling down, exhaling up, and using our core. We are staying nice and tall through our torso. We're lifting our knee, slight crunch down, but exhaling as we come up is really going to help. I really want us to use our legs more than our arms. The focus here will be our lower half of our core. And I know that's a little bit trickier to engage sometimes. That's why I want to focus on the knee coming up more. Then our elbow goes down. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. One round down, 2 to go. Staggered squats first. 3, 2, 1. Definitely a lot of squats and lunges today. So I'm going to try and do a little bit more upper body tomorrow. Try and incorporate maybe some more banded work tomorrow if we can. But we're alternating here, staying on one toe, using our other foot. Really important. We're not pushing through our toe. We're just using that foot to help us with balance. On that one, I literally only felt that in my right leg. So just being mindful here if you need to. Just move a little bit slower, but our core is still engaged. We're still driving through our whole foot here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, narrow push-ups. So either hands and knees or hands and toes. 3, 2, 1. All right. Hands stay nice and close. Regardless if we're on our knees or our toes, our pelvis is tucked, our core is engaged. We're screwing our hands into the ground as well. We don't want our shoulder blades to be pushed up. We want everything nice and flat. So squeezing those armpits here. Looking out in front. Great job, y'all. Keep pushing. Narrow push-ups are going to focus on our triceps and our chest a little bit more than a regular push-up. We do have a little bit more tricep in this one. 3, 2, 1. And I know that makes it just a little bit more challenging. So, all right, overhead lunges are next. 3, 2, 1. So again, if you have a mini band, go ahead and wrap that around your wrist. I'm going to grab one real quick. You want to keep that mini band just a little bit lighter so you can really push out against it to get the resistance needed. There's the light one. Always start a little bit lighter than you think you need just to make sure it's not affecting the movement. So this is where you can put it around your wrist, push out against it. You're automatically going to feel that activating your shoulders. So keep it pushed out. Inhaling, coming down. Exhaling back up. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Having that many band definitely makes it more challenging. All right. W's to L's to overhead press. 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to keep with my resistance band here. So if you have one, great. If not, do the movement how we've been doing it here. But hinging at our hips. And we, whoops, I get that even. Driving our elbows back like a row. We are then rotating them up. Perfect. Just like that every time. This is definitely more challenging with the band. So I definitely recommend using that if you have it. If not, like I said, just move nice and slow. We want to make sure we're rowing back. Elbows stay about 45 degrees. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right, we got moving lateral lunges next. 3, 2, 1. So we're in on the side of our space here. I almost said top. We're stepping out, pushing through, making sure we move nice and slow. If it helps you, y'all know I do this all the time. So like sometimes I feel like I sound like a broken record a little bit, but if you're not really feeling it where we need to, slow it down. So coming nice and slow down. For me, I know I tend to push off of one leg a little bit too much sometimes, especially on my weaker side. So if you need to, take your foot off the ground. So just like with any other lunge, that was a little bit over exaggerated there, but pick your foot up off the ground just a little bit sooner, really help you focus on the working leg. 3, 2, 1. All right, more lunges, around the world lunges here, front, side, back. 3, 2, 1. So coming forward first, pushing off that front foot. I didn't do good with my balance here, but remembering we're trying to go straight into the next one if we can. Takes a little bit extra effort, but working on our balance is good. Making sure we are also alternating sides. So once you do forward with your right leg, out with your right, back with your left, or sorry, back with your right, you're then going to do the same thing on your left side. So alternating in, trying to go straight into that next one if we can. Balance. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last but not least, we have one more round. Squat, knee to opposite elbow. 3, 2, 1. So hands at our temples, feet hip width. Just like any other regular old squat we do, coming down. And then again, trying to get our knees to come up more than we're bending down. So